Namaskar. A Merry Christmas to all. A question has come up in which, in one of the videos, I had mentioned that we have to maintain our line and length. So, the question is, one, what is the exact meaning? And second, how do we maintain our line and length to be in a state which is unaffected by the happenings of life, that is, anything good or bad or whatever. So, we will take up in three stages. One is we will try to know what it is, how the need for maintaining line and length is felt. Second is we will see how we can overcome it, and then what is the result of taking these steps. So this would answer all the three, both the questions which have been raised. So line and length, primarily, as in cricket they say, maintaining of line and length of the bowler and so on. So when we are in our daily life, while doing so many other things, while interacting with so many different types of energies, different types of personalities, maintaining the integrity of our own, of the direction of our own personality, so that we are ultimately able to experience that state which was mentioned in the question. A state where the happenings of the life or the influence of the surroundings, surrounding people, surrounding energies and all, they do not affect us or they do not dampen our morale. So this is what is maintaining of line and length. Now, when we see how our worldly interactions take place, the worldly interactions are of the personality, one personality with the other. Now, when we move out, it is one personality with many. So it is actually an interaction of the various personalities. Or we can say mind. Different minds are interacting with each other. Now, all minds would not be the same. Somebody would be having a mind which is more ego-driven. Mind itself is ego, but the ego-driven mind is one, as per me, is one which is constantly aiming to preserve itself irrespective of the cost it has to pay. This mind is generally referred to as a strong mind. However, I wouldn't prefer to call it a strong mind. Because this mind is not being able to self-sustain itself. It needs the other to feel strong. That is what is the reason why I call it a weak mind. So this mind, which is ego-driven, is available in abundance all around, and it is these that we have to interact with on a daily basis. Very rarely do we come to meeting a mind which is not ego-driven, which is, say, in a state where it has realized that till now the motivations for me were the preservation of my own self as the ego. But now I realize that it is an endless and a very tiring journey, so I need to take rest. Now, when it wants to take rest, it goes in for looking for certain diversions. Divergence means he would like to go into the company of some guru or some meditation classes or yoga classes and so on, where his mind can experience a soothingness, where it is not worrying about preserving its own self, and it is not running in its endless quest of maintaining its mental supremacy over the others. So this is the mind which would then look for some classes like this, or some people like this, or some books like this. But a slight difficulty is there over here. He has reached that place. He has also been able to experience that calmness for some time. But when he is coming back, that is this mind, when it is coming back from that meditation class, when it comes outside, it meets the same minds which from whom this mind has gone into the meditation class. So when he comes back to these minds, he is back to where he was. So what is the benefit? There is a benefit, like a state where a person has tasted honey and he will not be satisfied with anything other than honey. You can keep giving him chocolates, you can keep giving him sugar, jaggery, or different types of stevia, or different types of sweeteners. But he will not listen to anyone. He would want only honey. As it happened in my case, Papaji introduced me to one state and said, "This is sleeping while awake." That is the honey he gave me. And thereafter, I did not want to settle for anything other than that honey. So this is the state a person would be in when the mind decides that I want to be out of this this weakness, as I say. So he would like to go in for some classes. So this is a good state to be in, but not a destination. It is just a transitionary stage meant to introduce this mind, which was in constant state of flux, to introduce this mind to a possibility of developing a mind which is relatively stable, or maybe a mind which has merged into the ocean. Or we can say a state of no mind. So for reaching there, this introduction is necessary for this mind which was so far concentrating on preserving itself. It is here that he would realize that not preserving my own self will give the happiness or the state of stability. Then he would pursue that, and by pursuing I mean he would in that case be on a constant search, like a deer searching for the musk. He would be in a constant search for that company which can keep this mind stable in that state of calm or peace. And when this pervades all 24 hours of the day, that is the time would be a situation which once we had in one of the videos we had described it, a state where the child is sleeping and mother comes, gives him the milk, but the child is sleeping, and while sleeping the body is performing its physical routine of drinking milk. People outside are thinking that he is drinking milk, but the child is not aware that this activity is taking place. This is what happens when the mind is merged into the whole, and the mind is not finding the need to preserve itself, and also it can be called a state of no mind, or it could be a state where we can say the mind does not exist, or a state where even if it exists, it is the servant and not the master. I hope this is amply clear now as to what I meant by maintaining line and length. The company is most important. Even while staying in the company of the minds that are ego-driven and in a constant quest for preserving their own selves, even in such a condition, we can maintain that state which was there when we tasted the honey, and also that state in which this child, which we refer to, is. It is easy. It is just a matter of decision that the mind will take and the preferences and the company that we would be keeping. And in this state, we would realize that it is not the personalities which would be interacting. Now, it would be a heart to heart interaction, heart to heart communication, and heart to heart engagement. So, once again, Merry Christmas, and hope that this heart to heart engagement would continue for the next year to come, and we will see how we can progress further. Thank you.